So what we're going to do now is bring on our next set of guests, and then after them, we'd love for you to return and answer some questions. Would that be okay?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. So we'll now bring on our amazing women we have with us here, Catherine Stringer and Mina Molloy. Dr. Pillai will be joining us again, so please stay tuned and continue to post your questions about the light body in general or the program itself, and we will come back for questions. So I would like to start with Catherine. Welcome. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here. So Dr. Pillai was just talking about the power of devotion and transformation, which is why you two women are here, because you're both a testament to that. So, Catherine, it's so interesting talking to you. We've talked before, and I find your story very fascinating. And if you don't mind me summing it up, that before, what was it, 10, 12 years ago, you were in a place where you didn't even believe in God and had all these beautiful worldly pleasures around you, and kind of came to a place where you were at rock bottom and not doing so well. Can you tell us a little bit about that story, where you were and where you came to and where you are now through the teachings of Dr. Pillai, and of course what you bring to the table, which is your love and devotion, which is so unique to you?
Okay. I guess with regards to what you said, and I'll try and keep it brief, I had moved to New York. I had two young children, married, and I hadn't, at that time, I had just started a spiritual practice. I didn't really believe in God at that time, but we had moved 15 minutes away from Baba. Didn't know him at that point. I just met one of his students, and then life was collapsing. It was very stressful, and I wasn't able to. My career, because of moving, my career had stopped. There was a lot of pressure on all fronts, and I remember just starting Baba's practices just vaguely, and I had the opportunity to meet him in New York, and the room filled with light, and with someone with zero spiritual practice. That was pretty incredible. I couldn't understand what it was. And I knew, it seemed all very strange to me, and I was very skeptical, but something compelled me to keep doing Baba's teachings. Shortly after, about a month or so, I did a retreat with Baba, and it was at that point, again, very novice, there's something in my heart that said, you have to study with this man. And it was through his teachings that everything started to shift within me. I was really fear-ridden. I had tons of fear, tons of anxiety, anger, and a lot of issues that needed to be addressed that I couldn't see. And Baba's teachings started to pull that all forward, and things started to transform. It transformed in helping my family, my children. And I was compelled to delve further into my spiritual world. And my marriage split at that time. We had different paths to follow. And at that time, I had to move back to Canada with my two children and begin a whole new life over again. I wasn't destitute by any means, but I had to pull it together, and it was frightening. It was very frightening. And I had given away my power, and I was incredibly fearful, which was paralyzing and stagnating. It was difficult to start a career because I couldn't attract the clientele. I didn't have the confidence to do so. And Baba's teachings just kept evolving that within me, strengthening it. And
I hate to interrupt you, but I just heard that we have to actually wrap up this segment of the show in about 5 minutes
Sure.
until the Google closes apparently. So just your final statement. I'm sorry, I know you have so much more to
No
say.
problem.
You're an incredible and inspiring woman, and just from me knowing you, and I met you 10 years ago, knowing where you were when you were in New York, and knowing that you did feel this helplessness and trapped, and now look at you. You're an inspiration to so many women. You are independent. You're raising two beautiful, amazing children. You have a beautiful home. You have a thriving business, and you have the spiritual attunement that people would, spend lifetimes trying to get, and that was through your, your dedication, your practice of Dr. Pillai's teachings, and
dedication. You've got to commit to it, and it's important. You have to do the discipline, and you'll get paid. The payback will be phenomenal. So
absolutely. And what can you say to mothers?
To mothers, oh my goodness,
and you're an inspiration. What would you say?
This has changed. It has changed my perspective in raising children, empowering me to live and be the person that I want my children to be. So it's teaching them by example and not by words. And it has filled me with love, confidence, compassion. The list is endless, and I won't go on. But in doing that, it has changed for my children. And that has been the most compelling thing for me in order to continue doing this outside of the light body. But my children were the one that inspired me to do all this, to be a better person.
So thank you so much. I know that you're the perfect example for them. So we have about just a few more minutes. So we're going to bring Dr. Pillai back on. I'm sorry, Amina, we didn't get to your story. Let's touch base, and we'll do a hangout next week. Okay? Definitely want to spend some more time with you. So now we're going to go back to Dr. Pillai. This is what happens when you're live, and you have to go with the flow of things. Thank you, women. You are both an inspiration, very powerful, dedicated women who I've seen use faith in Dr. Pillai's teaching. Absolutely change your lives 100%. So we have Dr. Pillai back. So we're just going to wrap up right now, Dr. Pillai. What would you say to the audience who are interested in the light body? There's no sound.
Because I'm on a time constraint now, Google is going to shut us off because the 4-hour limit. So I have two minutes to go, and which is a good thing to do. As a matter of fact, I don't need even 2 minutes, and I just put it in my mind that now they are saying it's only 1 minute now remaining. That's even better. So I want to, at this point, wish you well, because I truly, truly believe that everyone should have a prosperous life, not only a prosperous life, but relationship too, but added to the light body, which is the final goal of everyone. I've